Hello everyone, welcome to Track Astro Science, and today I'm back again with yet another new video. So today I will be discussing regarding the planets and their lordship of houses for the Aries ascendant people. Now this is a completely a new series starting with Aries ascendant. Means you see, when you are taking the birth, the sign which is rising from the eastern horizon at the time of birth becomes your ascendant, becomes your rising sign. It also becomes your first house or the lagna. So today this video is completely associated and completely belongs to the Aries ascendant people, means those people whose first house is Aries, those people who are having Aries lagna. Okay, so or what we call Mesh lagna. Okay, so let us start this video for the Aries ascendant planets and houses. Whenever we talk about any ascendant, for every ascendant the planets will behave differently. Like the same planet, like Jupiter, will behave differently for Aries ascendant people and also behave differently for the Taurus ascendant people. The same planet, the significance will change. Why? Because for different ascendant the planet will get different lordship of houses. Depending upon the lordship of houses, their significance will change, their way of delivering the result will change. Okay, so for the Aries ascendant people, which planets are going to give benefic results, which planet is going to give malefic results, will also depend upon their lordship of houses, and that I will be going to discuss in this video with the help of a presentation. And again I will ask, if you are new to this channel, if you are viewing this video in my channel for the first time, then subscribe the channel, press onto the notification bell icon so that every time I make a new video you get notified instantly. So come, let us see that how the planets and their lordship of houses play their game for the Aries ascendant people. Come, let us see. So in this presentation we are going to talk about the planets and the lordship of houses, and which planets are benefic and malefic for the Aries ascendant people. So come, let us see. For the Aries ascendant, the first house and the eighth house are lorded over by Mars. Now, since Mars is the first lord or the Lagna lord or what we called ascendant lord, therefore Mars becomes the most auspicious planet of the horoscope for the Aries ascendant people. Mars is actually the protector of the horoscope. It is actually the controller of the horoscope. So wherever Mars will sit, the energy of the people will be completely concentrated on that significance of their life. Why? Because Mars is energy, Mars is vitality. Okay, that is the reason, due to the influence of Mars on the first house, the Aries people are normally very dynamic and they are very energetic in nature. They try to complete their work very fast because of their high energy. They have a very strong physique because of the influence of Mars. That is the reason here Mars becomes very important planet for the Aries ascendant people. Not only that, the first lord is considered to be very auspicious because by the nature of the first house. Since first house is a combination of Kendra house and the Trikona house. By Trikona house I mean Dharma Trikona. Therefore, first house is very important and very auspicious one, and being the lord of the first house, so whenever the time period of Mars will come, definitely Mars will bring some good results for the native of the Aries ascendant people. Now it will vary how much good, that will vary depending upon the dignity of Mars, how it is placed in the horoscope. Now let us talk about the lordship of Mars for the eighth house. Eighth house is generally considered as a Dusthana house, means not a very good place for the horoscope, which is actually lorded over by Mars. But eighth house by its dignity is a neutral house. It is said that the lord of the eighth house will give its result depending upon the association it is with. Okay, like suppose the lord of the eighth house is in a bad dignity, then it will give bad result. If it is in a good dignity, then it will give good result. Normally, the eighth house brings the turbulence in a life of a native. It shows the uncertainties, it shows the suddenness. Something suddenly happens, the life is completely changed. That is seen from the eighth house. But the good thing is that eighth house also shows the spirituality, the occult knowledge, the diving deep into the secret knowledge. Okay, that can also be seen from the eighth house. Anything which is secret, anything which is sudden, that can be seen from the eighth house. So, by the energy of Mars, such person, if whose eighth house is strong, and due to the influence of Mars, such person can be very good emergency doctors or emergency surgeons. Such person can find a very good energy or very good focus in a fire brigade. Such person can work for the army, can work for police. Okay, because of their high energy and the influence with the eighth house. Okay, that can be seen from Mars. Now let us see what we can understand from the second house. The second house of the Aries ascendant people is lorded over by Venus, and Venus also rules the seventh house of the horoscope of Aries ascendant people. Now, by this definition, we can see that Venus actually deals with the family, wealth, values, okay, anything which we value for the Aries ascendant people, because that comes from the second house. And from the seventh house, Venus will actually signify the marriage, the partnerships, the negotiation, the business, the spouse. Okay, marital bliss can be understood from the Venus. Now, second house is also a neutral house. It depends upon the dignity of the lord of the second house, how it will give the result. If it is in a good dignity, then it will give good result. If it is not in a good dignity, then it will not give good result. Okay, that is from the position of Venus. From the seventh house, it is said, now since seventh house is a Kendra house, so the rule says the lord of the Kendra house will become neutral. If it is benefic, then it will become neutral. If it is malefic, then it will not remain a malefic and it will become neutral. Now, since Venus is a natural benefic planet, and since it is a lord of a Kendra house, which is the seventh house, so now it is no longer a benefic planet. Now it will behave like a neutral planet. Okay, and since the other house which Venus rules, which is the second house, now second house is not a good house, it is a neutral house. So here inherently Venus will become a neutral planet. But for the Aries ascendant people, Venus is the Maraka planet. Why? Because it is said that the lord of the second house or the lord of the seventh house is termed as Maraka planet. Means the planet which can inflict death. That does not mean that Venus will kill the person. No. It shows that the person can have lot of difficulties in the life when the time period of Venus will come. Venus will make many things which is going very usually very good, but it will create some problem in the path of the native in their life. Okay, be it health wise, be it any type of disturbance in the life. Okay, which can make the person feel that yes, my life is completely finished now, my life is full of problems. Okay, that can be shown through the Maraka planet, which is Venus over here. Now, since Venus is the second lord, so from the family point of view, love from family, wealth of family, or anything which we get from family, or anything which we value, that will also be given by Venus. Okay, Venus, since Venus is the seventh lord, so Venus will also bless the marriage. Okay, that is also true, but it will depend upon the dignity of Venus, where Venus is sitting. If Venus is in a very good dignity, then definitely Venus will give very good results in accordance to the second house and seventh house is concerned. But since it is a Maraka planet, therefore it will also bring some problems in the life of the native when the dasa of Venus will come. Here another thing which is very essential to understand is that the Lord of the third house, sixth house, 11th house, they are malefic in nature. They are inherently malefic for any horoscope. So, the Maraka planet Venus, if it comes in contact with the Lord of sixth house, third house, or 11th house, okay, then that is not good for the people of Aries ascendant, because Venus is inherently Maraka planet, and if it comes in contact with any of the house lords of third house, sixth house, or 11th house, then here Venus will become afflicted, and that afflicted Venus can actually create lot of problem in the life of the Aries ascendant people. Come, let us see what we can understand from the third house and the lord of the third house for Aries ascendant people. The lord of the third house and sixth house here is Mercury. Now, as the rule says that the lord of third house, sixth house, and 11th house are malefic in nature for any horoscope. So, here Mercury is inherently a malefic planet for the Aries ascendant people, and not to forget that Mercury and Mars are not friends. Why Mars? Because Mars is the lord of the first house, and Mercury is the lord of sixth and third house, and therefore, since they are not friends, and since the lord of the third and sixth are malefic for any horoscope, so the dasa period of Mercury will bring upon conflicts, problems, restrictions, okay, increase in enemies, debts, or diseases, or increase in struggle in life can be seen through the lordship of Mercury, or when the time period of Mercury will come. Because you see, third house shows our struggle, third house shows our efforts, actions. That is the reason third house also shows the courage and bravery. But here Mercury will test the courage and bravery of Mars, that means the person. Mercury will test that yes, you are brave enough. So if you are really brave enough, then try to deal with it. Okay, that is what Mercury will test the person. Not only that, Mercury also rules the sixth house over here, which is Virgo. Virgo sign is the sixth house for the Aries ascendant people. And don't forget, Mercury exalts in the sign of Virgo. It is the Mool Trikon sign of Mercury, also Virgo. Therefore, when the Lord of sixth house, which is Mercury, the Dasa period will come, it will give more results of the sign of Virgo. So it will try to create those problems in the life of the native. But here also I will say, sixth house also shows competition. So anytime if Mercury is well placed, okay, then it will also show the person will be full of competitive spirit. The person will go for any competition and be a winner in that competition. That can also show, that will also be seen from the position of Mercury. Okay, now let us see what we can deduce from the fourth house of Aries ascendant horoscope. The fourth house of Aries ascendant horoscope is actually ruled by Moon. Now, Moon is our mind, emotions, mother, nourishment, motherly affection. That is seen from Moon. And what do you see from fourth house? Fourth house actually shows our happiness, our home, the place where we find our peace of mind. So, therefore, we can say that Moon is rightfully the lord of the fourth house for the Aries ascendant people. And don't forget that Moon and Mars are friendly to each other. Now, as I told before, that the lord of the Kendra houses are neutral inherently, therefore, Moon will be neutral to its house. But since it is the friend of the Lagna lord, therefore, definitely Moon is going to be a very important planet, and rather, I will say a benefic planet for the Aries ascendant people. Although, since it is the lord of the fourth house, it will behave as a neutral, but since it is the friend of Mars, therefore, and it is the giver of happiness, therefore, the position of Moon will be of very big question in order to see that whether the person will have the necessary happiness or peace of mind in the life, throughout the life, for the native from the horoscope. Okay, come, let us see what can we understand from the fifth house. The fifth house of Aries ascendant is lorded over by Sun. Now, apart from the first house, fifth house is also a very auspicious house for any horoscope, because 159 are actually the dharma trikon house, which are actually the house which shows us the correct path in our life. They are considered to be the most auspicious houses. And here, sun, the light, sun is the enlightenment, sun is the actual positivity which we actually get in the right from the morning. That sun is ruler of the fifth house, so you can understand that how much important planet sun is for the Aries ascendant people. So now, since sun is considered to be the king and Mars is considered to be the soldier or the general, the warrior general or the general of army in the planetary cabinet, so you can say that Mars becomes a very good follower of sun, or whatever the king will order, the Mars will just follow it. So anytime if a person is wanting to get good results from the fifth house, then the person should worship sun, or the person should be very punctual in his or her life, try to have the Surya Namaskar and get the blessings of sun. And fifth house also deals with progeny. Fifth house also deals with our creative self expression. Any type of creative talents can be seen from the fifth house. And sun is the fame, sun is the name, status, fame, okay, authority. So if you want to increase your creative self expression, if you really want to have the name, fame in the mass media, then sun is the planet which will actually bless you in its dasa period. Definitely some good results are going to come. Now that will depend where sun is sitting and how it is placed in which dignity. Okay, now let us see what we can actually deduce from the ninth house. The ninth house and the 12th house of the Aries ascendant people is lorded over by Jupiter. Jupiter is the guru, Jupiter is the wisdom. And what is ninth house? Ninth house is the house of our luck, fortune, divine blessing. It is the house of higher knowledge, higher perception, which we actually get from our guru, from our father. That is the reason it is also the house of father, the teachings of father. Therefore, ninth house also becomes a part of very very auspicious house for the Aries ascendant people and for any horoscope. And being the lord of the ninth house, Jupiter is a very auspicious planet. But apart from the ninth house, Jupiter also becomes the lord of 12th house. Now 12th house is a part of Dusthana house, 6, 8, 12. Now, it is also said that 12th house is also a neutral house. So, depending upon the placement of the 12th lord, the result will come. If it is in a good dignity, then good result will come. If it is in a not so good dignity, then malefic results will come. Okay. Now, since Jupiter is the ninth lord and ninth house is Sagittarius, okay, which is the Mool Trikona sign for Jupiter, therefore Jupiter will give more results of its ninth house as compared to the 12th house. That is for sure. But since Jupiter, apart from the ninth house, rules the 12th house also, therefore the placement of Jupiter will definitely put a clarification regarding what type of results you are getting. Because if we compare the fifth lord and ninth lord, then I will say the fifth lord sun rules over only one house, that is Leo, that is the fifth house. Therefore, the if sun is in a very good dignity, therefore only one house is getting affected, that is the fifth house. Okay, but for Jupiter, it is the ninth house and 12th house. So the placement of Jupiter is going to be very crucial. Okay, and I will also say here that since Jupiter is the significator of dharma, since Jupiter is the significator of luck, fortune, and Jupiter is the significator of second house, fifth house, ninth house, and 11th house, and being the lord of the ninth house, so I will say that Jupiter becomes a very, very auspicious planet for the Aries ascendant people apart from Mars and Sun. So anytime if you see in your horoscope for the Aries ascendant people, I'm saying that your Sun Mars or Mars Jupiter or Sun Jupiter is sitting together, in a Kendra house or in a Trikona house, or they are aspecting each other, or they are forming any type of planetary combination between each other, then definitely that is going to be a very big benefit results in the life of the Aries ascendant people. Definitely it is going to give you very very big boost in the significance of those houses in your life, because these three planets are actually the rulers of the Dharma Trikon. Okay, now let us see what we have to understand from the 10th house and 11th house. The 10th house of karma is actually ruled here for the Aries ascendant people by the Lord of Karma or the Karmadipati, what we call Saturn, the planet of karma, the planet which rules over karma, is actually the lord of the 10th house, the lord of karma. Okay, because from the 10th house, which also signifies our overall karma in this life, what we do, that can be seen from the 10th house. What our reputation is in the society, that what we are, that can be seen from the 10th house. Like suppose someone can be a doctor, that means that person is recognized as a doctor in the society, in the city or in the nation. That can be understood from the 10th house, that everyone will say that that person is earning his livelihood or doing something which is related to the doctor profession. That is ruled by Saturn in the 10th house for the Aries ascendant people. That means a person can be a doctor, a person can be engineer, a person can be anyone, anything. But what the person is actually, what work he is doing, what karma he is having, that is ruled by Saturn for the Aries ascendant people. So you can understand that Saturn is taking a very big role as per as Aries ascendant people is concerned. Now, apart from the 10th house, Saturn also rules the 11th house, which is the house of gains, which is the house of hopes and wishes. That is the reason we say that Saturn is not only the Karmadhipati, it is also the Karma Phal Data. Okay, it also provides you the results, the fruits of your karma. So, what type of karma you are doing, the same type of results you are actually getting from Saturn. Now, Saturn is very straightforward. Saturn will neither take something from you, neither it will give you extra something. Okay, whatever you are doing, the same result you are actually going to get from Saturn. If you are doing something very good, definitely Saturn will give you, it will give you good results. That is the essence of 11th house. But definitely if you are not in a good path, you are doing something wrong, you are doing something which is not according to the essence of righteousness, dharma, ethics, then trust me, the 11th house of gains, hopes and wishes will actually make your life complete troublesome. That is the reason 11th house is considered to be the most malefic house, because we can't control the result of the 11th house. Whatever karma we are doing, that to certain extent we can control, but after doing the karma, that is completely upon Saturn, that how Saturn will compile your result and give you the report card. That can be seen from the 11th house. That is the reason 11th house is considered to be the most malefic house, and being the lord of 11th house, Saturn also becomes a malefic planet for the Aries ascendant people. So therefore the position of Saturn will not only denote what result you are going to get in this life, but also what karma you are going to do and how is it going to affect your life. That can also be understood from the position of Saturn, from the significance of the 10th house and 11th house. And as I discussed the combination of 159, that is the Sun, Mars, and Jupiter, here I will try to combine the malefic planets, which is Mercury, which is the lord of the 3 and 6th house, third and sixth house. Venus, the lord of second house and seventh house, and Venus is the Maraka planet, death inflicting planet for the Aries ascendant people, and the lord of 10th house and 11th house, which is Saturn. So anytime if you see Venus is sitting with Saturn or Venus is sitting with Mercury, now since Venus is the Maraka planet, if Venus is influencing Mercury or Venus is influencing Saturn, then Saturn and Mercury can also show you some more troublesome results. Or anytime suppose Venus Mercury or Venus Saturn or Mercury Saturn is sitting together or forming any yoga or combination in the chart of Aries ascendant people, so whenever those planets dasa will come, it will definitely bring some harsh results. Definitely it will also give you some good results depending upon the significance of the planets, but the lordship cannot be ignored. Like suppose Mercury is a benefic planet, natural benefic planet. Venus is a natural benefic planet. But don't forget, Venus is the Maraka planet for the Aries ascendant people. Don't forget, Mercury is the third lord, sixth lord. So it will try to give the result according to that. It cannot give you more than that. It cannot give you less than that. It has to give what it has got for the Aries ascendant people. Similarly, for Saturn, it is the lord of the karma, it is the lord of the karma fall, that is the 11th house, it is the lord of the house of gains. So, I will ask you that if you are having the horoscope of Aries ascendant, then try to do your karma in a complete ethical way, complete righteousness, and then you will see the magic of Saturn, because Saturn is such a good planet, such a good friend, that if you are in a correct path, it will definitely test you. It will definitely test you, and while testing you, it will actually make your life more beautiful, and it will give you the good results, because when you will get the good results, then you will understand that how beautiful planet Saturn is. Okay, so by this I will try to conclude this presentation, and I hope that this presentation has really tried to clarify the essence of all the planets which are trying to give you the benefic results and which planets are trying to give you malefic results as far as the Aries ascendant people is concerned. So you have seen that which planets are benefic and which planets are malefic for the Aries ascendant people. As we can see that Jupiter, Mars and Sun are benefic planets for the Aries ascendant, and Mercury, Venus and Saturn are malefic planets. Moon is inherently neutral because it is the lord of the Kendra house, 4th house, but since Moon is the 4th lord, the lord of happiness for the Aries ascendant people, and it is the friend of the Lagna lord Mars, therefore depending upon the placement of Moon, it will definitely give you some good results, because Moon will be a benefic planet for this ascendant people, although its way of giving the results will be neutral, but inherently it will be a benefic planet for these people. Okay, so if you have really liked this video, then tap onto the notification bell icon and the like button. Okay, share it to your near and dear ones, and your comments are always welcome. Okay, I would like to know from you that how these planets have behaved in your life when the dasa period of the planets have come, and don't forget to share the video to everyone whom you know who are actually of Aries ascendant people or Aries people who would like to know that how the planets play their game in their life. Okay, and your comments, your suggestions, your opinions are always welcome. Thanking you. I am signing off for today. Bye bye.